we met, we clicked, and that was it for like over 30 years. And then it began to dawn on me that, this person, we were headed in two separate directions, and she was using me. She was using me for advice, she was using me for comfort, but she offered me none. She was using me to comfort her in situations she had placed herself in through disobedience to the word of God, not wanting to heed advice. Situations she literally put herself in. When it went south, she would come to me and cry. I did it all. I was there when her mother died and everything. But when my grandfather died, she was, oh, sorry about that. And here's my issue, here's my problem. I got tired of that. I got tired of being her emotional safety net. Friends are supposed to be there for each other mutually, and she wasn't. So, after knowing her for decades, I decided, and I remember the last full conversation we had. It was on Facebook, and I actually had my aunt listening in. And at the end of the phone call, I hang up, and I asked my aunt, so it's time. She said, yeah, she gotta go. Her exact words were, bitch gotta go. So, we take our time, and I reevaluate everything. I don't like to make rash decisions when it comes to cutting people out of my life. And I took stock of everything since the first thing we met and said, bitch gotta go. I told her that I could no longer do this, I could no longer talk to her, I could no longer advise her, I could no longer be friends with her in any way. And I told her, go in peace. Sometimes even people you know for the longest, who you held in your heart as kinfolk, sometimes separation needs to be made. I know another person that is still with their ex. They married, they divorced, and the ex is still around, but not in a helpful way. And they sabotaging way, helping the person so sabotage. And the family had a meeting, which I was privy to, and it was said that, we knew what the problem was, and that if separation did not come, there's little we can do. Without the separation is needed. So, do you ever watch, Intervention, and you got two addicts and a couple? And they tell the one guy, that's not the subject of the intervention, that they know was a drug addict, gonna do the documentary, never mention the intervention. Then they bring him in, offer him rehab to go on the upper side of the country of where they're sending her. They separate them. That codependency, that bond, that toxic cycle. That's it. You and Judy are toxic. Together they are toxic. Separately, I think it'd be alright, but together they are toxic. And until separation is made, this disgusting drama will continue to play out until it takes you out of here, because Judy accidentally, this is allegedly, this is what I heard, uh, cook some food for Yul, and put a charm in it, because the charm that's controlling him runs out at a certain period of time. But she knows it, so she knows how to prepare it, put it in and whatnot. Put the food in front of him and said she was going to take a shower. So she comes out to find that Yul has been eating the food, true, but he's been sharing it with the little boy, Sardike. Well, the charm did not help that little boy at all. The charm actually ended up sending that boy to the hospital. And the boy already has emotional problems. We have not been told a diagnosis, but the boy was kicked out of school. He went to school and he literally told a person, allegedly, that my sister will turn into a snake and hurt you. And he was referring to the baby sister that they called Snake. And, well, those are the children of Judy Austin, and Judy Austin has other children that she's not even hearing about. The children she has placed on Yule is the only children she cares about. She actually has an older daughter who is an unwed teen mother. Good looking out there. So your focus isn't where it should be. And your children are becoming wayward because they have a wayward mother. Evil communication really does corrupt good manners. Did Yul was a lecturer. He was an adulterer. He was a piece of other shit beforehand. And because he was a piece of shit beforehand, because he broke the covenant he had with his wife, this bitch showed up and it was nothing. And yes, I said that she's a female dog. I do not mince words when I realize how angry I am at this situation. A legal, loving wife, legal under the law and under God, gets treated horribly, abandoned, and left for dead. 'Cause trust me, the only thing you ever says about her is horrible. And then you get to watch your husband parade his other women around. Every time you turn around, he got somebody else pregnant. How do you think that makes her feel? She gave this man all of her youth and 4 good children. But then, it's like, well, that was just a job. He regards her as nothing. And I can't understand that. Because to me, a man would never do that. Not a real one anyway. I have faith that God can fix it. I want God to fix it. Mostly because I'm tired of hearing about it. I just brought it up because I was talking to my aunt and I was like, nobody in America is bringing this up. But this has been going on for so long and it's been so big. Well, it's not something that directly concerns me. But however, I am concerned because as a widow, I can tell you what I would have done had I found out my husband was doing half of what you was. Trust me, there would be nowhere for him to hide. No one would rescue him. God himself would be his only refuge. Because I would set fire to everything. Not literally. And I would make it too hot for him to stand. I'd make sure he suffered. And trust me, that May could have done it. She could have ran her mouth, told secrets, and she kept silent. That's her. Me? I would have made it known that I'm not a party to this polygamy. I have not agreed to it, which she did in her own way. But I would also say that any woman that was stupid enough to sleep with my husband, knowing he was legally married, is worthy of whatever he does to her. Because you see how he hit me. First wife, legal wife for the longest. You see what he did to me. Watch. It's that thing that Dr. Phil says, which is the only thing that he says that I actually like, which is, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you. Plain and simple. People need to wake up. How should I put this? Sorry for the sentence. With the arrival of social media, the world changed. We went from talking to one another in person or on the phone or writing letters to texting, which is shorthand for conversations, and in a way it's good, but in a way also removes the human interaction that makes conversations interesting, which is why I love video chatting. I get to see the person's eyes. I get to see their expressions when I say things so that I know what I'm saying and how it comes across. With social media, we started to become how should I put it? The term is main character syndrome. That's the term I learned. Main character syndrome. Where you just constantly think you're it. Everything revolves around you. Nothing you do is wrong, and everybody should just follow your lead and worship you. Main character syndrome. And it's spreading so fast. I think main character syndrome might be spreading faster than the Karen virus. And it's hard to catch up to the Karen virus, but I believe it's spreading faster than the Karen virus. Now we have selfies. We're all about ourselves. And so this is the perfect age for a man like Yul. Because in this age, he can just say, he's a man, and he just blah 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 blah. And as a man, you can say a lot of things. I can literally call myself the Queen of England and don't make it so. It doesn't. But for some reason, this little boy, useless, stupid boy, and I'm about to say every word, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Ode, I believe that's your word for idiot. He's an idiot. Because I don't understand why when you have a good home, why when you have everything that other people desire, that they're envious of you in your home, why do you yourself break your home? Nobody broke your home. You broke your home yourself. While your wife was trying to keep everything together, keep everything perfect, you destroyed your own home because that thing in your legs, that thing between your legs has a mind of its own, you'll say. You'll say, because you're a man, it's your duty to spread your seed. You'll say all manner of foolishness and fuckery out your mouth. And it doesn't matter because, honestly, when you start nibbling, dabbling, thinking that it's nothing, thinking that it's cool, thinking that you can do whatever you want, eventually, chickens come home to roost. And when they do, because you have alienated yourself from everybody else, you'll have decimated his own support system as well. When the chickens and the curses come home to roost, it will not be well with him. And that's why I actually tweeted Yola Dolce once. And all I said was, I beg you, please repent while there's still time. Jesus love you. I don't even know if you saw it, but I said it. I don't talk about this to be like, haha, gossip. I talk about this because it needs to be brought to the attention of people that wealth, riches, and fame do not spare you from acting like a moron. Being married to fame, being fame adjacent, will not spare you heartache. You can have money and still be hideously low and depressed. You can have everything that this world can offer and still feel like nothing. I want you, if you can, to remember the grass isn't green. I'm gonna tell you, it isn't always green, it's the same. I'm gonna tell you the grass is never greener on the other side of the fence. What you're lusting after is just a mirage. What's behind the mirage is the reality. That's the thing that's gonna hurt you. That's the thing that's gonna tear you apart. That mirage is just to get your lust going, to get you wanting, to get your desire in the direction that will pull you out of the path that God has laid for you. The straight and narrow path is the path we all should follow. Whether you believe in my God or not, I really don't care. Like, I'm not trying to be like, believe in my God and my God only. I believe in my God. And I speak what I believe. If you don't believe it, fine. If you wish to turn it off because I'm speaking things you don't believe in, you're not hurting my feelings. You're honestly not hurting me at all, okay? Remember this. God has blessed me from the time I was in my mother's womb. And I give God the glory because it's He who has preserved my life and given me joy. I don't care who you serve. But like that Bob Dylan song says, you gotta serve somebody. So if it's not the Lord, it's the devil. You only have two options. Just really flat out, that's what I'm saying. Two options. If you're not on the side of God, if you're not on the side of the things of God, if you're not trying to do what God is doing, basically the Bible is another song by Burlap the Cashmere coming up basic instructions before leaving Earth. And the letters in all first letters of all those words spell out Bible. That's what the Bible is. What we need to understand is this. Wanting somebody to repent should be a common theme for all of us. It should not be just because I believe in Jesus as a Messianic Jew. It should be for all of us. That when someone commits a sin, and by the way, for most people, adultery would be like a deal breaker. I mean, are not in an open marriage. She never agreed to a polygamous lifestyle. She was never consulted about this change in her husband. He just decided. And he saw a woman he wanted to marry, a second wife. But remember, he already had a baby mama with 2 kids. And brought Trudy in like, I'm a polygamist now. No, you're a moron. Whenever a man starts thinking with that little head, it only spells disaster for him, and those